Welcome to the Page Turner Adventures Creative Literacy Program, filled with crafts and activities that get kids excited about books and reading. We're going to make batik cloth. So this is the cloth that I've already made. I think it looks pretty cool. And the traditional way of making this cloth is to use wax, hot wax, melted on the cloth to block out these different spots, and then you put the color on top of it, and then when you get rid of the wax, this is what you have left. But you know, if you're working with kids in an enclosed space, you know, open flame, hot wax, it can get a little difficult. So we're going to do a different method that does not use wax, but I think still gives you a very cool effect. So what we're going to use instead of the wax is glue. You need some sort of washable glue. I'm going to use the school glue, the clear gel version, but really any kind of washable glue works just fine. Then I'm going to use some fabric paint instead of dye, but we're really going to water this down a lot. So you need some water, you need a paintbrush. I actually like using this big sponge brush because we're just gonna kind of slap it on there. And then you need some sort of fabric, and it's best to use some sort of cotton fabric. And this fabric that I have is actually called a flour sack. Got it at the dollar store. Get a lot of stuff at that dollar store. It's just a nice texture. It's kind of a thin texture, so that works well, but you can use anything. You can use old pillowcases, old napkins, you know, like old cloth napkins are nice because those are finished. That's what I like about this one. It has a finished edge, where an old pillowcase, if you're going to cut it up, won't have a finished edge, but you can just use the pillowcase as is. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm actually going to put away the water and the paint right now, because all we're going to do is the glue. Now, this is a project that actually does take really several days. So if you have kids that come back for programs, this works well, because you do need to let it dry between steps. So the first step that we're going to do is to just make some designs with our glue. Okay, so I'm just gonna make some designs with my glue. And I'm not going to make anything specific. I'm just going to kind of do some blobs and squiggles and things like that. So keep in mind, wherever you have the glue, that's going to be white once you wash the fabric. Yeah, you can do some very specific designs. You can write your name, you can do flowers, you can do whatever you want, but I just kind of like this freeform look right now. All right, so that's that. Now, we're just going to let it dry. So my fabric is dry, the glue has dried on it, and now we're ready for step 2, which is to add the paint. And it's going to kind of look like dye, because I'm going to take this fabric paint, I'm going to use blue, I like the look of the blue, and I'm going to add it to some water, because I like it to be really watered down. I just think that gives it a really cool look. So I'm just going to put some in there. Mush it around, and I don't even care if it's totally blended, because I kind of like that really uneven look as well. And I'm just going to paint it onto the fabric. And you can see that how it's showing up? That's the part that I glued that dried on there. And again, I prefer this look of just sort of an uneven tone of darks and lights and watercolory look, but you can do it however you want. If you prefer a more even look, then you can paint it on a little more evenly. You don't have to water it down quite as much. You definitely want to have some kind of paper or something under your fabric, because this will leak through. I'm wearing an apron too, because this is fabric paint, so if it gets on my clothes, it will definitely stain my clothes. So you want to be careful and probably use a smock or an apron of some sort, or old clothes that you don't mind getting paint on. It's fun to design your own fabric. And once you have this piece done, the kids can do anything they want with it. You can make pillowcases, or sew them into purses, or just have a scarf, or just have a piece of fabric. You can use it as a book cover. So I'm just going to let this dry. And if you stick it in the sun, it'll dry pretty quickly. And then after that, I'm going to wash it and dry it, and we'll see what we have. So here it is, my batik cloth. It's all washed and dried, and you can see wherever the glue was, it got washed away and it just left the white design on the cloth. So, you know, it's a fun project. I think it looks really neat. You can do whatever you want with a cloth when you're done with it. You can, you know, use it as a scarf or make a pillow or whatever you want to do with it. And I use the blue. You can use different colors. You can do, you know, all one color like I did, or you can do different colors, however you want to do it. But enjoy making your batik. For more great crafts and activities, visit our blog at pageturneradventures.com.